Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Library Marketing Show. I'm Angela Hursh from superlibrarymarketing.com, and today we're going to talk a bit about social media, both in our topic and in our kudos. First thing we're going to talk about is social media audiences. I was having a conversation recently with another library marketer. We were talking about how we're structuring our social media for 2020. And she asked me if I target specific audiences on specific social media platforms. And the answer is yes and no. What I really do is reverse engineer my audience on social media, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about how I do that today. The reason I do that is because you, as a library marketer or any marketer, you do not have any control over the people who are already using the social media platform on which you want to post. That is totally under the control of the people who put that social media platform together. So the marketing that Facebook or Pinterest or LinkedIn or Instagram, all those guys, what they do to bring people onto their platform, that's out of your control. You have an audience already that's on there. You don't have any control about bringing people to the platform. So you got to work with what you have. And that's why I say we're reverse engineering, because we're really just doing a couple of steps to see who is already on the platform and then how we can best serve them. So that's step number one. Figure out who your audience is already on the platform. How old are they? What do they like? If it's a new platform for your library, you can look at other libraries or similar brands or companies in your area to find out what kind of posts people respond to. And that will help you to figure out what kind of posts you should be putting on your library's social media channel. So once you figure out who it is already on that platform on which you want to post, the second thing, of course, as always, is to figure out what are your library's goals for the next year or 5 years or 10 years. Although when we're talking about social media, probably should stick to a year because we all know how it changes. But what is it that your library wants to do overall, and how can you use your social media channels to make those goals a reality? The final step that I love to do is to create a mission statement for each of the social media platforms on which my library is posting. It's a one or two sentences, very clear, very simple. What exactly are you going to deliver to the audience on that particular social media platform? And we do that for two reasons. One is to help you, the library marketer, so you don't get all schizophrenic when you're posting on different platforms. You're going to know exactly what you're serving to each of the audiences on the different platforms. The second is for your customers, so they know exactly what it is you're going to be giving them on that platform. It goes both ways. So once you create the mission statement, you can kind of develop in your mind a persona of the person who is going to be looking at your posts on that platform, and you can give them the content that they want, that they'll engage with, that will help drive your library's goals and make them a reality. So that's why I call it reverse engineering. You're just working with what you got. I hope that you got something out of that. If you want to learn anything at all about social media and libraries, just go to superlibrarymarketing.com and type social media into the search at the top of the page. You get all kinds of posts. We talk about it all the time on the platform. So I hope that helps you out. All right, speaking of social media, my kudos today go to Cesar. I hope I pronounced that right. He works at the Austin Public Library in Texas, and he sent me an article that he wrote for the Texas Library Journal, which I will post a link to in the show notes for this video. At the Austin Public Library, they use social media ambassadors. And we hear a lot about influencers on social media, and we talk sometimes about how can we use influencers as a library. I kind of feel like that traditional profit model of influencers doesn't work for libraries. I think this ambassador model is much better. So in his article, Cesar talks about how he recruits volunteers who then post stuff about the library on their personal channels. He talks about how that's impacted the marketing at the Austin Public Library, and he gives you some steps for how you can implement this at your library. I think it's a great idea. It was a wonderful article. Again, I'll link to it in the show notes. Thank you for the email, Cesar. I'm glad you gave me a heads up. If you have a comment or a kudos suggestion for this show, you can go to superlibrarymarketing.com and click on the Library Marketing Show tab to give me an email. I also have an upcoming events tab. I hope that we can connect on an upcoming webinar or at a conference where I'll be speaking. And I want to talk to you. So you can also put a comment in the comments of this video if you want to ask a question or make a suggestion. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.